Hello, trading is closed on June 22nd, 2017. Yesterday I said I thought we would trade higher, which we did, although we didn't hold it. I looked for a pattern with an early low and a late high, which we got, and tomorrow's pattern should have an early low sometime around the bottom of the first hour or so, give or take half an hour. During the day, MEJT said early on prices were going higher, but it's a characteristic of the system. It can give buys and sells from the same thing. When it did move higher, it said it was a false move and that prices would retrace and the targets were hit. In the afternoon, it gave a sell signal and that worked. No new MEJT targets for tomorrow. This is a pattern which tends to close near the day's high most of the time, and when it closes nowhere near the high, under these middle of the day lows, and even under the early high, it has very negative implications unless it's invalidated by gapping up and promptly taking out these highs. So for tomorrow, unless we get such a gap, I think we'll trade down. Now, what are the chances we get such a gap? I don't think it's impossible. This is a wall into the close, many that shows unrestrained selling by the amateurs. Very often, the professionals who did purchases here get their money back immediately by gapping up. Here's your retracement to a Fibonacci level of this. What's critical is that when we dropped here, we could not close under any of the prior lows of the pattern. We couldn't even close under this one, which wouldn't have been too hard to do. Here's a larger pattern. You'll see we have a nice pullback right to a Fibonacci support level here too. So we have a wall into Fibonacci support. It's not impossible that we gap up. Now all these highs are resistance level from this formation here. You can look at this high, see it's a perfect Fibonacci target of this. You can look at is that the one? This is the one. This high, 23.6, that's what I wanted to show as a nice Fibonacci target. Today's high, right at 38.2. So this is stopping at Fibonacci resistance from this formation, and this point has to be undercut at some time. So when I have conflicting signals like this, the commonest thing is we gap outside the day's range. Next most common is we close a little change and have the big move Monday. So for Friday, I think the opening is going to be critical. This is a very negative pattern unless we gap up sharply and take out this high promptly. If that doesn't happen, we should gap down, undercut these lows, and it could lead to quite a drop, because here's the origin of the left stilt. Here's the first challenge. Now when this challenge is as close in time as this, it sometimes counts as one challenge. But if it's challenge number 2 and we break under this low, it tends to break in grand style. So tomorrow I think the opening tells all. Look for a gap, and the direction tells us if we tank or get a recovery, and that's today's call.